Have you ever wondered why prayer holds such a significant place in our lives? It's more than a mere ritual or tradition. It's a form of communication with the divine. Imagine it as a direct line to God, where we can express our innermost thoughts, feelings, and desires. It's a safe space where we can unload our worries, seek solace, and find hope. But prayer isn't just about asking for things. In the grand tapestry of life, we often find ourselves blessed in countless ways. Prayer allows us to pause, reflect, and express gratitude for these blessings. It's a moment of acknowledgement, a heartfelt thank you to the Creator. Moreover, prayer acts as a compass, guiding us through life's twists and turns. In moments of confusion or despair, it offers a beacon of light, leading us towards the right path. Indeed, prayer is a powerful tool that fosters a deeper connection with God. Now let's delve into the Bible to understand how God instructs us to pray. Our first stop is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 9 to 13, where Jesus gives his disciples a model for prayer, famously known as the Lord's Prayer. Here Jesus starts by acknowledging the Father. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. This signifies the importance of recognizing God's holiness and sovereignty. He then proceeds to say, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Here, the focus is on God's will and not our own, reminding us that prayer isn't about getting what we want, but aligning ourselves with the will of God. Next, we move to the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18, verses 10 to 14. This passage tells the story of two men, a Pharisee and a tax collector, praying in the temple. The Pharisee, full of self-righteousness, prays loudly, thanking God that he is not like other men. On the other hand, the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner." This story emphasizes the importance of humility in prayer, teaching us that God values a humble heart over a self-righteous one. Lastly, let's visit Paul's letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 6, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Here we are encouraged not to worry, but to pray about everything, expressing our needs and desires to God with a heart full of gratitude. In summary, the Bible instructs us to approach God with reverence, seeking His will above ours, to pray with a humble heart, and to present our requests to Him with thanksgiving. These biblical stories and instructions provide us an insightful framework for prayer. As we reflect on these stories, several key points about prayer emerge. First and foremost, God instructs us to approach Him with humility, acknowledging His absolute sovereignty. We are not to stand before Him with arrogance or pride, but with a humble heart that recognizes His supreme power. Secondly, we're encouraged to seek His will and guidance. Prayer is not a wish list to God, it's an opportunity to align our desires with His divine plan. Thirdly, God asks us to pray with gratitude. Thankfulness isn't just for answered prayers, it's an attitude, a way of life that acknowledges God's goodness in all circumstances. Lastly, He urges us to be persistent in our prayers. Persistence is not about changing God's mind, but about changing our hearts, growing in faith and resilience. Remember, prayer is more than a ritual. It's a heartfelt conversation with God, a divine dialogue that strengthens our spiritual bond.